This is the Mini JCW GP2, and it's basically a seriously track-focused hot hatchback without any rear seats, which doesn't really make any difference because who's getting in the back of the regular Mini anyway? Definitely not me. Talking about weight, unlike me, this thing's been on a diet. Compared to the same generation Cooper S model, this thing is around 50 kilos lighter, thanks to no rear seats, less sound insulation, Recaro front seats, and special 17-inch alloy wheels. And if you want one of these, it's going to cost you somewhere in the region of £15,000. But if you spend half of that, you can just end up with the regular JCW model. So what's the point in buying one of these then? Well, today I'm going to explain why. I'm Max Stavani. Welcome to Driven Plus. So what's the point in paying double the amount for a car where it's less practical, it's got firmer suspension, it's loud, and I'm pretty sure this doesn't come with any more power too? Well, there's a few reasons. Firstly, this is a limited model. Only 2,000 units were made worldwide, and out of those 2,000 units, 288 of those came to the UK. If you have a look on the dash, you've got a nice little plaque there which says GP 1 of 2,000. So you're buying it for its rarity factor. It feels a little bit more special. Another thing is its brakes. If you have a look on the front, you will find 6 piston calipers. And on a car which weighs just over 1,100 kilos, that is absolutely insane. And they're going to be the same brakes found in the BMW E82 135i. Another reason is that these cars just look the bollocks, don't they? And if you're planning to do track days, you don't really need to do any modifications to them. They're basically a road-going race car, and this is what I love about this car. Mind you, talking about modifications, this has had a few done to it to enhance the performance, which isn't bad. It's had a little ECU tune, so we're running around 260 horsepower. Now, I was quite surprised before when the owner said to me, Damo, he said, oh, it's also had a Quaife LSD. And I said to him, well, does this car not come with an LSD as standard? He said, no. That surprised me because this is a track-focused car. The first thing you'd expect is an LSD. So that's one bad point about the GP2. Another thing which has been upgraded on this car is it's been polybrushed all around. It's got coilovers, so I'm expecting this car to be an absolute hoot today. But let me explain more about this engine. Under the bonnet of the GP2 sits the N18 engine. It's a 1.6 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine. Standard horsepower, 215 horsepower and 280 Newton meters of torque. However, this car has been tuned up and it's producing somewhere in the region of 260 horsepower. It's also fitted with a 6-speed manual gearbox, which is the only option for this car. So, therefore, it's a proper driver's car. It's got a top speed of 150 miles per hour, which is impressive, and Mini say it'll do a 0 to 60 time of 6.3 seconds, but let's see if we can shave any time off that. Bear in mind, it's now tuned. Okay, so it's time to launch the Mini GP2 from 0 to 60. On your screen now are the stats and figures on this car, so pause your screen if you'd like to look into them. So this car does not have launch control, it's all in the driver. Now, many say 6.3 seconds, this car has tuned, but therefore you're putting more power through the front wheel, so therefore it might not grip as easily. Let's leave the traction control on for now and see how we do, and then maybe we turn it off for the second run. Let's go. Oh, it bogged. Torque steer. 5.87 seconds, well that's impressive. That's half a second quicker than many states already. Bear in mind this car is on semi-slick tyres, so that's definitely going to help. It didn't spin up as much as I thought then, and I think if we turn the traction control off, it's going to be worse. So let's just try it. Why not? Yeah, let's just try it, traction control off. Okay, so I've pressed the traction control button and I've had a little message flagged up on the speedo that we're in GP mode. So let's see if that's fast 0 to 60. Might give us more slip. No, it's definitely going to be slow. Oh my god, yes. Well, it's not too bad actually. It's still quicker than Mini says, 6.09, but it just spun up so much. So if you plan to launch a front-wheel drive hot hatch, it's probably best to keep the traction control on. Anyway, that's what it stacks up against, and let's go back to the review. Now let's talk about the overall look of the GP2. Now the model designation of this is the R56, and I just think it's got, although it's a small car, it looks stealthy, it looks aggressive. I think the proportions are right on this car. Starting with the headlights, Xenons, a few carbon fibre touches going on the front because these are, well, these are aftermarket, but I like this functional air intake here, which is carbon fibre with the GP badge as well. The colour of the car, you can only get the GP2s with this colour, which is called Thunder Grey Metallic, and it's with all these red accents too. Now, when we come to the side of the car, let's talk about the suspension and how it sits, because this car sits really low, doesn't it? It's I can hardly get my fingers in between there. That's because it sits on coilovers. Few aftermarket modifications. It's also the wheels, they're on OZs. It just looks, those wheels suit this car. And another big thing about the GP2 is the brakes themselves. So they sit on 6 piston calipers, and I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure they will be the same brakes you find on the E82 BMW 135i, because this car is 2013. The E82 135i came out at around the same time too. Mini, BMW share a lot of common parts. It shares a lot of, you know, interior switchgear, shares the same engine with BMW too. Not the same engine in 135, but it's a BMW engine. So yeah, it's on coilovers. In terms of all the bushes, they've been upgraded too. All the GP badging going on. This is number 1672 out of 2000. And then coming to the back, well, the middle of the back of the car, down here you get a vent, which I think that's fake. Yeah, I don't think it's real. But one thing I was looking at before is how small the rear discs are. Come in and have a look at these. They're absolutely tiny. Talking about the OZ wheels, these are 17-inch in diameter, 215/40 on the rear, and you get another carbon fibre there on the rear wing. These lights are aftermarket. I'll be honest here, right? Because there's a lot of red accents going on, and understand what the owner's done is they've gone for kind of the red deletion, but I think the red works well with this car, so I would prefer the normal lights found on the car because I think it breaks it up a little bit. Carbon fibre on the boot lid, and you've also got the twin exhaust setup there and the GP badge. My favourite angle of this car is definitely the rear. It looks so cute, doesn't it? Welcome to the interior of the GP2, and although this is a small car, it doesn't feel like it. I think because of the windscreen, it's quite deep. It doesn't feel as enclosed as you might think. So therefore, if you're quite a big person like myself, you've got quite a bit of room. It's not actually too bad. But in terms of the actual overall layout, it's very basic, but I quite like how simple it is. When you look down here, you've got all your necessities, such as it's got heated seats, it's got air conditioning. They're really easy to use. You've got 2 cup holders down here, but they've been changed for something else because you've got your short shift and your sport buttons. Talking of the gearbox, here it is. I think that's in a good position instead of being down here, so it's more driver focused, shall we say. Few hard plastics going on, so down there, glove box on top of the speedometer, bit on the door card down there too. But having said that, there is some quite nice leather touches, such as on the top of the dash. You get the nice GP plaque there, and with the piano black interior. Seats as well. Now, I think the seats, bear in mind, this is a GP car, and they've got a little GP tag there. They're not as hugging as you might think. You'd probably want them to be a bit more snug for a track-focused road-going car. In terms of the steering wheel, it's, as I said, this interior is very simple. There's no steering wheel controls. However, you do get a nice carbon fibre plaque with the John Cooper Works logo down there. Your door cards are really small. You get 1 cup holder behind there. However, though, one thing I am impressed with is have a look at that. Look how big the glove box is. So your main storage unit is going to be in there. I'm going to take back a comment which I said before. You remember when I said I don't like these lights because they don't break the back end up a bit? Well, we didn't have the lights on, and now the lights are on, and you've got this red part of the Union Jack. I now like that. That is a nice modification. Now the rear end is just perfect. I really like this exterior paintwork. Looking into the boot, now because the GP2 was predominantly built as a 2-seater sports car, you've got a load of cargo space. Just this bit here is 206 litres, but the whole thing is 680 litres. So track cars are practical. That's a good one to sell to your missus. Bloody hell, that's hard to bring down. Okay, let's see what this 1.6 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, the N18 engine, sounds like. Woo! Wow! We got a bang! That sounds awesome. Let's see if we can get one more. Come on, keep going. Keep going. And again. One more. Ah, well, at least we got it to bang. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? Let's get back onto the road. So, what other cars can you buy which can give you the same experience? Understand this is a GP special edition model, but let's park that for a minute. The first car you can buy is the Renault Clio RS or 197, the one that comes with the 2-litre naturally aspirated engine, which I actually prefer over this car because I think they look better and sound better, and I prefer how they drive too. However, saying that, this Mini has the better build quality, that's for sure. Another one is the Ford Fiesta ST, specifically the Mark 7. They're great cars, very fun, and great value for what they are now. You can pick them up for around £6,000, which is a steal. However, I'm not so sure on the reputation of those cars. You'll definitely get more respect driving the Mini or the Clio, because when I was growing up, those Fiestas were in their heyday. They were Fiesta ST, but they were always known as the Mackey's Mile Kings. That's why you'll never see me in one. Love to review one though, by all means. But the one thing that stands out in the Mini compared to the Fiesta and the Clio is German build quality. I suppose, yes, they're built in the UK, but they're not really British, are they? It's a German car owned by BMW, which is a good thing, because this offers you some sort of a premium interior, which I think the Clio and Fiesta lack. And when you think of it, £15,000 for a track-focused hot hatchback is a bit of a steal, really, isn't it? Especially with all the features this car comes with. There's not many hot hatchbacks left anymore, which provide you with a really hardcore racing experience that's made for the road. So let's actually bloody drive this car. Firstly, we're going to comment on the gearbox. 6-speed manual transmission, which is what we like, because this manual gearbox takes engagement to the next level, whereas in the GP3, the one that came after this, only came with an automatic transmission, which is a shame. So the ultimate driver car here is the GP2. So firstly, let's just put our foot down and see a little bit of turbo lag, but at around 3,500 RPM, the turbo becomes on song, and then you're getting the full 260 horsepower in this. So what's the gearbox like? So let's drop it down to second gear. Oh, very nice. And one thing I've got to comment on is the position of the pedals. Perfect for rev matching, and the clutch feel is perfectly weighted. I tell you what, it absolutely loves to torque steer. Now we are on semi-slick tyres here, and I would have imagined it will be easier to put the power down once we've got some heat into it, but I have been driving this car for a while now, and it's 70 degrees, sorry, not 70, 17 degrees outside, so it's not the coldest, but it's not the warmest, and it's fast in a straight line. And one thing which works well are those 6-piston calipers. You'll be needing them a lot, especially when you go on track. So let's pin it around this corner here and see how that front end responds. Torque steer. It puts a smile on your face. It's such a cheeky car. It's so nimble, so agile. And one thing which could be better is the noise of the engine, because it is turbocharged. When you compare it against the Clio RS, the reason I prefer that is because it sounds better, but this does sound okay. It could be better. It doesn't sound as good as a supercharged one, which is of course the GP, the first ever JCW GP, sorry. So if you want more noise from a Mini GP, you buy the previous generation one, which is the GP1, which came with a supercharged, I think that was a 1.6 engine as well, actually. Yeah. If anyone's got one of them, let me know. I'd love to review it. So what's my thoughts on the Mini JCW GP2? Well, it depends what you want to buy it for. If you want to buy it as a weekend toy to have a bit of fun in and the occasional track day thrown in, perfect car. Because at £15,000, I can't really see these cars going less than what they are now. They're definitely going to retain the value. Will they go up? Maybe, but I can't see them going down. So for me, it's a safe bet to put your money in, and it's going to provide you with a really fun experience. Bear in mind, it's a front-wheel drive hot hatchback. But I'd like to say a huge thanks to Damien for letting me get behind the wheel of this GP2 today. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.